Chapter 1. Oh no, family. I've crossed over. Oh no, family. I've crossed over. On a bustling street, a tall woman was speaking into her phone with a look of panic on her face. Her name was Reba, a well-known young actress in the entertainment industry. Just half an hour ago, she was at home putting on makeup, and suddenly everything went dark. When she woke up, she found herself in this world. It took her half an hour to realize that she had crossed over to a version of Tokyo set in 1996. The only difference from her world was that this one had the Earth Peace United Organization, TPC, but otherwise, it was quite similar to her original world in 1996. Moreover, her phone had mutated, allowing her to live stream to her original world, broadcasting her experiences here. This live stream system even had a progress bar. By live streaming something called Ultraman Tiga, she could increase the progress bar, and once it was full, she could return to her own world. Upon learning this, Reba felt extremely anxious. She didn't want to cross over. And what was this Ultraman Tiga? She had never heard of it and had no clues at all. Look, this is Tokyo in 1996. Reba said as she turned her phone camera around, slowly moving it to broadcast her surroundings. Do you see? This is Tokyo in 1996. I'm not lying, I really crossed over. Reba was currently at a bustling crossroads, where a large screen on a building was showing a woman named Kamen Rider. Speaking that in the lower right corner of the screen, there was a label identifying her, Captain of the Victory Team, Kamen Rider. Seeing the scene in the live stream, all the viewers became excited. Due to Reba's high popularity, as soon as she started the live stream, a massive wave of fans tuned in. Adding the crossover angle, the number of real-time viewers skyrocketed to over 20 million in just half an hour. Is Reba promoting a new drama? It does look a bit like Tokyo in the 90s. I visited Tokyo a couple of years ago, and it does have some resemblance. However, Tokyo has changed a lot since then, so I'm not too sure. Looking at Reba's expression, it really doesn't seem like she's faking it. Could it be true that she crossed over? Though I'm hesitant to believe it, the architecture and the clothing of the pedestrians in the live stream are all from the 90s. I lived in Tokyo in the 90s, and it really does look similar to what Reba is showing in the live stream. As more and more scenes were broadcasted, those who initially thought it was a promotion for a new drama gradually dismissed that idea. What Reba was showing was just too real. If this was all for a promotional stunt, the cost would be enormous, not to mention the large number of people at the crossroads. Just building these structures seemed impossible. Especially for those in the entertainment industry, they scoured all the filming locations in Japan and couldn't find anything similar. In no time, the news of Reba's crossover exploded on Weibo. At this moment, Reba was unaware that she was anxiously wondering what to do next. Having crossed over to this world, she was essentially an identityless person. Even finding a place to sleep at night could be a problem. However, just as she was aimlessly walking forward, she suddenly bumped into a man, causing her forehead to sting. While rubbing her forehead, she quickly apologized. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Before she could finish her apology, Reba looked up to see the man smiling gently at her. He exuded an air of elegance and charm, wearing a simple black and white shirt. At that moment, Reba was mesmerized. Having seen many young stars in the entertainment industry, encountering this man made her feel a refreshing jolt. Yuchen was looking at the woman in front of him. To be honest, he had noticed Reba half an hour ago, and upon hearing what she said in the live stream, he was almost certain that this Reba must have crossed over from some parallel world. After all, the world of Ultraman Tiga was part of his childhood. If Reba had crossed over from the same world as him, even if she didn't know about Tiga, it was impossible for all those people in the live stream to be completely unaware. That's right, Yuchen had also crossed over, and it had been quite some time. When he first arrived in the world of Ultraman Tiga, he was extremely panicked. Monsters and aliens appeared every day, and it was a dangerous world. Fortunately, after crossing over, he had found a system called the role-playing system, which allowed him to randomly select an Ultraman template to impersonate. The Ultraman template he drew was Torrequia. The more he could act like Torrequia, the higher his impersonation level would be. Once the impersonation level reached 50%, he could possess 70% of Torrequia's peak power without needing to reach 100%. To increase his impersonation level, he immediately changed into an outfit that looked exactly like Torrequia's human form. This boosted his impersonation level by 10%. In the following days, as Yuchen continued to mimic Torrequia's demeanor, speech style, and habits, his impersonation level rose from 10% to 35%. He now possessed 70% of Torrequia's peak power, and in this world of Tiga, aside from the formidable Gatangier, Yu-Chin was quite confident he could handle other monsters and aliens. Chapter 2. This man is just too elegant. Wow, this guy is so handsome. Is Reba really that lucky? Just bumping into a random passerby who looks like this? Hurry, hurry. Go ask him what his name is and get to know him. His aura is just killing me. I'm totally into this type. The moment Yu-Chun appeared in the live stream, the chat exploded. Reba was momentarily stunned. Noticing this, Yu-Chun smiled lightly and asked, "Miss, it seems you were troubled by something?" "Ah, oh yes, a bit." Reba then realized and nodded, finding an excuse. "I'm looking for a job, but I can't find one." Reba knew that in this world, she was essentially an identityless person, and her immediate priority was to settle down. This excuse about looking for a job wasn't entirely a lie, as finding work would at least allow her some stability. This way, she could look for whatever this Ultraman Tigo was and fill the progress bar to return. "I see." Yu-Chin nodded, then looked at Reba with a gentle smile and said, "How about coming to work at my shop?" During the time since Yu-Chin crossed over, he had indeed opened shop selling various snacks. After all, the Torrequian's human form is a foodie, and in most of the scenes they appear in, they always bring along various snacks. He opened this shop mainly to enhance his role-playing, and usually he doesn't even open the shop. This was something he did casually, but it seems to have come in handy now. Ah, hearing Yu-Chin's words, Reba was momentarily stunned. Then, after coming to her senses, Reba's eyes lit up, and she excitedly said, "Really? What kind of shop?" Yu-Chin nodded. "A snack shop. We're currently looking for a cashier with a monthly salary. How does 200,000 yen sound?" Upon hearing this, Reba didn't even think and immediately nodded in agreement, as she was in urgent need of this. As for the monthly salary, she didn't care at all, she just wanted to settle down. Seeing Reba nod, Yu-Chun smiled and then walked in a certain direction with his hands behind his back. "Come with me." Reba's face brightened, and she quickly followed Yu-Chin's footsteps. Meanwhile, the live stream chat also became lively with this question that he's really too gentle. "I wonder if he has a girlfriend." "Are you dreaming?" Even if he doesn't have a girlfriend, you can't get him or not in the same world. Do you think he might be a scammer? Doesn't seem like it. Scammers can hide themselves well, but their aura can't be faked. While the live stream was still discussing this matter, Reba had already followed Yu-Chun to a street with very few people. Then, Reba saw Yu-Chun casually open the door of a shop and walk in. Seeing this, Reba instinctively looked around. With so few people on this street, would opening a shop here really not lead to losses? With this doubt, Reba followed him into the shop. As soon as she entered, she was greeted by various snacks and treats displayed on the shelves. The shop wasn't very large, it didn't need salespeople. Just a dedicated cashier would suffice. However, Reba noticed that the cashier's counter seemed a bit shabby. Was there really just a table and nothing else? Where's the computer? Where's the cash register? Just as she was still in a daze, Yu-Chin's light voice reached her ears. "From now on, you'll be the cashier here. There are contact details for restocking on the table. Just contact them directly if you're out of stock. You can also freely eat the snacks in the shop as a reward for your work." Listening to Yu-Chin's words, Reba was completely stunned. Not just Reba, even the people in the live stream were dumbfounded. Wow, just wow. The boss lets employees eat openly while most bosses catch employees stealing snacks. I don't think this location is a good one. Isn't he worried about losing money? The key is he's offering a salary of 200,000 yen a month, which is like 10,000 yuan a month in our country, that I'm so envious. Where can I find a job like this? Yu-Chun looked at Reba and asked knowingly, "I'm Yu-Chun. What's your name?" "Ah, oh, I'm Reba. Everyone calls me Pundi." "Okay, Pundi." Yu-Chun nodded with a smile. "Then I'll leave this place to you." As he spoke, Yu-Chun pointed to a direction in the shop and said, "There's a room over there. If you have no place to stay, you can use it as your employee dormitory." Upon hearing this, Reba's eyes lit up, and she excitedly nodded. "Thank you, boss." Yu-Chun shook his head and smiled gently. "Just call me Yu-Chun." After saying that, Yu-Chun gave a gentlemanly bow to Reba and said lightly, "Then, I'll leave it to you." After finishing, Yu-Chun turned to leave. Today is the day the Tiga storyline begins, and he wants to go observe. However, just as he turned around, he was called back by Reba. Reba looked at Yu-Chun and quietly asked, "Yu-Chun, do you know what Ultraman Tiga is?" Hearing this, Yu-Chun raised his eyebrows slightly and looked at Reba in front of him. He really didn't expect Reba to suddenly say this, But thinking about it, he kind of understood after all, Reba was just someone who crossed over from a parallel world, and perhaps there were no special effect dramas in her world, so it was normal for her not to know. However, since Reba was able to mention Ultraman Tiga, it was probably related to her live stream that as a traveler, perhaps her live stream that connects her to her world is her golden finger, so it wouldn't be surprising for her to know about Tiga from it. But Yu Chun still denied. Tiga? I don't know. As he spoke, he noticed the disappointed expression on Reba's face and chuckled lightly. Be patient, maybe after today, you'll see him. Just then, a sudden fierce wind blew from above, causing the shop's door to rattle loudly. Reba instinctively covered her eyes with her hand. Hey, why did such a strong wind suddenly come up? However, Yu-chan did not answer her, but looked meaningfully at the ceiling, or rather, through the ceiling towards the sky, a faint smile appearing on his lips. Is he coming? It seems the Tiga you mentioned is coming. Hearing Yu-chan's words, Reba didn't quite understand what he meant. But before she could think more, a piercing screech suddenly came from above, like some terrifying giant beast flying low in the sky, letting out a cry to declare its existence. Both Yu-chun and Reba heard it, and they stepped out of the shop simultaneously, looking up at the sky. In the next second, when they saw what was in the sky, Reba was completely stunned. At this moment, even the audience in the live stream erupted upon witnessing this scene.